You probably heard about our custom not to count Jews. It is based on a Talmudic teaching that says that blessing rests on things that are hidden from the eye and that are not counted or measured. Besides for that, the Torah itself is promising that the Jewish people will be like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted. Besides for that, we understand that counting highlights separation. It turns each person into an isolated unit. You will be one, you will be two, you will be three. But the Jewish nation is encouraged to see itself as one whole unit, not as separate individual people. So it sounds great, you'll say, but what should we do if we need to find out how many people there are? We need to get creative. For example, if we need to see if there is enough men for a minyan in a synagogue for communal prayer, then we often count kippahs on top of the heads of the people, not people themselves. Or we recite a verse from the Torah that has 10 words, almost like a children's counting rhyme. And you'll say, well, this is probably some modern invention. No, it is not. When Moses needed to conduct a census of the Jewish people in the desert, he told each person to give a half-shekel coin to the temple fund and then counted the coins. This is what they shall give, he said. Half a shekel coin. Later, also, when the leaders of Jewish nation needed to count people, they used similar methods. King Shaul, for example, made a census of his soldiers by having them bring animals, and then he counted the flock instead of the men. The late chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, Jonathan Sacks, explained this in a beautiful way. He said, don't count Jews, because if you count Jews in numbers, it can be very depressing. We are about 1/5 of 1% of the world's population. There are nearly 100 times more Indians than Jews on the planet. If you only look at the numbers, we seem very insignificant. So how should we count the Jewish people? Moses already gave us the answer. This is what they shall give, he said. Count Jews by what they give. Count their contributions. Look at Jewish philosophers, scientists, and artists. Think about Sigmund Freud, Albert Einstein, and Jonas Salk. But as extraordinary as individual Jewish contributions have been, they pale in comparison to what the Jewish people as a whole has given to humanity. A worldview, a moral vision, a value system that reshaped civilization. It is no accident that the religions that came to influence most of the world emerged from Judaism. Jewish ideas shaped the culture and moral language of Europe and Asia, parts of Africa, and later the Americas. Concepts that once were revolutionary. The dignity of every human being, sanctity of life, the idea of moral responsibility became so deeply imbued in global conscience that today many people consider them to be self-evident. And again, we see the same pattern. As great as the contributions of individual Jews are, what we gave together is infinitely greater. So, don't count Jews as separate entities. Count them as a one whole. Don't count our numbers. Count our contributions.